Ooh, that looks tasty.
Welcome, folks. Today the Hungry Gamer is back with another Kickstarter preview. And today we are talking again about Theurgy. Now, this is a game that I did a video of, I don't know, quite a while ago, and it was actually after their first Kickstarter had failed to fund, kind of in the lead up to it launching again. However, since then, I've gotten to play it quite a few more times. I got to try out the solo mode that is being worked on. It's not quite ready yet, but it's very, very close. And on top of that, I wasn't happy with the quality of the old video because it was done on all the old equipment. And, well, I had the opportunity to do it again, so here I am, just giving you a quick rundown. If you want to know how to play the game in a brief fashion, you can go down to the description and find the link to my initial preview video. If you'd like to know how to play the game more in depth, I've also done a how to play video, and that is also down in the description as well. So plenty of content out of me on this game. Now, what Theurgy is it is a area control game in which you are taking on the role of a almost forgotten god in a world where science is taking over. I say science because we're kind of talking more alchemy. So pseudoscience, I guess that would be called. I don't know, whatever. If you are an alchemist out there, I am sorry that I just insulted you. Please send me some gold. That would be great. But what's going to be happening is you are going to be moving around your two acolytes. That's right, you start the game with only two acolytes. You have two believers left, and through them you work your will, and they're going to be moving around the different hex tiles, and they're going to be converting non-believers to your faith, or converting believers of the other god to your faith. And then in addition to that, you're going to be spreading the word about your religion to the region. And then every so often, you'll be performing a miracle, you might be summoning a monster or whatever, but eventually you will be causing, as a god that you are, some kind of cataclysmic anomaly to happen. Obviously, when a cataclysmic anomaly occurs, you turn to God. And then we get to find out who more people turn to. Are they going to turn to you, or are they going to turn to that false god over there that should not be a god? They should be your followers, and they're taking them from you. Well, whoever it is that has the most followers after the anomaly happens, they get a temple erected to them. And you're going to be playing until one player meets the threshold for built temples in the game. That's a super quick overview and nothing to do with how you actually play. But so what do I like about this game? Well, first off, as I have learned over the past year, while I hesitate to play area control games in general because, one, I'm bad at them, two, they take a long time, and three, there's so much stuff going on, I have learned that if it's a quick area control game, it is a light area control game with only a few rules to deal with, I'm all over it. And that's what Theurgy is. It is quick. It takes 20 to 30 minutes per player. Though I will say if you're playing the solo game, it probably takes about 45 minutes to play a solo game because really you still have at least two players going on. And there's only 4 actions that you're going to do. And in the mold of Scythe, you're never doing the same action twice, so you have to kind of plan out your turns in a very satisfying strategic way to make sure that you are converting the most followers, while at the same time keeping abreast of what your opponent or opponents are doing all throughout the game to try to make sure you are striking while the iron is hot, but not striking too early, because if you jump out to a big lead, everyone's going to come down on you with their righteous fury, and you're going to have a bunch of smoldering ruins instead of temples. It's a delight. I also really appreciate, as I just said, the smoldering ruins, and I keep talking about, oh, divine fury, and I keep saying things like that because this game nails its theme. Nails its theme. Every single action that you take in the game is justified by the theme. Even down to the little bit of math, I say math because it's addition and subtraction that you have to do on the testing the faith is justified by the theme. Just all of it. Even down to the fact that there are skeptic tokens, which are the tokens that represent the non-believers and their strength and their science, and those are out there, but you can get rid of those because all you have to do to make someone not believe in science and believe in the gods again is just do a miracle. Or have a monster show up. Super hard to be like, oh, no, nothing supernatural exists when there is literally a dragon breathing fire next to you. Just everything. It's so thematic. It makes me so very happy. You probably hear me getting all excited about it. It makes me so very happy. The next thing that I really like about the game is it is ever so slightly asymmetric. Each of the 6 different gods has one power. It could be when you move, you get to move 2 hexes instead of 1. It could be when you are doing your proselytizing, you're converting of followers. Usually you only get to do it once. Well, one god, they can convert, move, and then convert instead of just convert and move, or vice versa. Or maybe you are, when you perform a miracle, you can put that miracle aside as one that you remember, and you're going to be able to do that miracle one more time later instead of something else. And they're all slight, they're all simple, but they're all satisfying. And each single one makes you play a different game, which I love. I love that. And then the last thing that I'll say that I really like is I like where the solo mode is going. It's not, as I said, it's not quite there yet. And they don't pretend that it is quite there yet. But what it does is it's not just a beat your score or here's a bot that you're going to play against. I mean, it is a bot, but it allows you to add as many bots to the game as you want, which is the thing that I love about solo mode or AIs is if I have a 2-player game, well, this game really is going to shine at more than 2. I can throw in a bot. I can throw in 2 bots or 3 bots, 4 bots, whatever I want and play as big a game as I want. And I love that kind of AI. And I've spent the past few days playing it and it works. Again, it's not perfect. There are edge cases and things that are happening, and I would send pictures to Oliver, one of the 2 designers, and say, hey, just so you know, this thing happened, and so they would be working on it and fixing it, all of that. So all of that I like. As I said, I think this is a fantastic area control game. I really do enjoy it. So what are my quibbles about the game? And the first one is that there's a lot of little things you're moving around. If you look at the little video I have going up here, you see there's a whole mess of little cubes everywhere. And I will say they will not be cubes. That's all just prototype stuff up there. It will be something different than cubes, a little more thematic, a little more exciting. But there's a whole bunch, and you are moving a bunch of cubes around. Every time you move, not only do you move your acolyte, you can move every single cube that you have. So it can feel overwhelming. And so that's just one thing to keep an eye on. The next thing really to just have in your mind as you're going forward is it's a mean game. I mean, it is nasty. There is never a moment that you are not ready to turn on someone you're allied with, and there's never a moment that you are not ready to be turned on. Because if you've played an area control game before, you know that your alliances only last until one of the people in the alliance is about to win the game. That everyone has to turn on them. And for me, I kind of enjoy that with this game. Well, one, because it's quick. It's a quick game, but I kind of enjoy that because it's part of the strategy that if you race out to a lead, you're going to get smacked down. And so how do you find the right time to make your move? When do you make your move at a time to where you can't be stopped? Or do you strike really, really, really early and get a whole bunch of stuff and know they're going to be destroyed? But since your ruined temples count as half a temple, if you get enough of them out there, maybe you can then make another move later. But I say all of that, well, I enjoy that. You might not. It might be insanely frustrating to you to be playing, have your plan, then suddenly everyone's like, oh, you're about to win? Forget that. Everyone, smite them. And then you have all the smoking wreckage, or suddenly they bring a giant in next to you and your stuff is smashed. And so that might not be for you. So just do be aware of that. And then this last thing I'll say is also has to do with all the moving of the cubes. Again, I'm saying cubes, not going to be cubes. Is there are just a whole bunch of tokens in this game. I mean, it's a lot. There's going to be a lot of stuff you're punching out that you're tracking, and it's just a lot of stuff. And so while the setup doesn't take a long time, it will feel like it's going to take a long time. And that's a very weird thing for me to say, and I know that's a weird thing for me to say, but that's really the only way I can describe it. If you take a look at the how to play video, you can see the magnitude of tokens that I have that aren't even on the board, and that's just a setup for 2 players. So it is a whole lot. And then the only other thing that I will toss out there is it is possible in this game to kind of dive into a strategy and just get wrecked. It's completely possible. And in particular, I'm thinking about the monster strategy. So they have these monsters, which are very cool and very interesting, but it's a choice. Either you're going to go the monster route or you shouldn't. But here's the thing, if you go down the monster route, you can get foiled if people make a concerted effort to do that, and then you're kind of just, you've wasted all this time. And so there are different ways you can play that. You can be foiled, and there is no catch-up mechanic other than the, as I mentioned before, if one person's about to win, well, everyone's going to gang up on them. Now, it's not a long game, so maybe that doesn't matter, but again, just something to keep in mind. But there you have it, folks. That is my recurring thoughts on Theurgy. As I said, I'm very high on this game. This is not a game for everybody. Absolutely not. But it's light, has a ton of strategy. I mean, an insane amount of strategy considering there's only 4.5 things you can do. I say 4.5 because there's 4 actions you can do, except for the divine intervention. You can do a miracle or summon a monster. So I, give that an extra half. But there's 4 things you can do. But because you have all your followers, all these things out there, it just becomes a lot of options and a lot of things you can think about. And I'm very excited about that. I know how to play this game. In fact, I had left it sitting right here. That's not true. Down there on my shelf for months until I pulled it back out. And it was no problem. I jumped right back in because it's that simple to play. I really like it. I love how the theme is just present all the way through. And I think if you are someone that likes area control games and would love to have one that you can just get to the table quickly, teach someone to play quickly, and then still take a ton of enjoyment out of, then I think this is really definitely could be a game for you. So there you have it, folks. That is Theurgy. As always, if you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.